here and we have a room full of desperate singles, I thought we asked our audience to supply some questions. I thought we could maybe read some audience questions, see what you get your expert advice.
Yes.
Okay, so one. I just got out of a long-term relationship, was dating my ex since high school, made it through college in our early 20s. This is the first time I've been single in a while. Any advice for someone who is new to the dating scene in their later 20s, but is looking for something serious? My advice, be a slut, but what?
I mean, I wouldn't say be a slut, but sort of in that vein. One is live your best, explore right now. Explore, because being partnered with someone sometimes, especially when you're really young, can limit your ability to grow because you guys kind of stay tethered together. And right now you're in your free space, so explore. People may surprise you. Things may surprise you. There may be things you thought you didn't like that you do like now, so it's okay to go out with that person you're unsure about. Also know that if you want to sleep around, only do so because you want to do it. Don't do it because you think he or she or they are expecting that of you, or because they took you to a nice dinner, or they didn't, or because it's been 3 dates or whatever. Like, only do it because you're okay with the outcome either way. You're okay if they never call again, and you're okay if you end up married. And then also do it because you feel like you'll get joy out of it. But explore all of that, and then you can come back to center eventually and have a better idea of like what your must-have should be, what your deal breakers should be, and that sort of thing.
I love that. Okay, this is a quick one. What are some other date ideas besides drinks or dinner?
Oh, drinks and dinner are the worst first date ideas. Get creative. Not only the reason why drinks and dinner are particularly bad is because when you go and you like sit to just have a dinner, you literally have a physical barrier between you. Right. It's like a job interview. Have you ever been on a date where it kind of feels like a job? You're like, what's your favorite color? Well, here's my favorite color. What school did you graduate? No, studies show that activity dates are much more effective because one, you have something that you guys can focus on together rather than solely each other. And then two, you're creating a memory. And what is a relationship but just a series of memories and experiences you have together? And it allows you to put your guard down. But if you must go get drinks and dinner, here's a way to do it. One, I like to plan a little food tour. Start one place at drinks, then go do appetizers at another place. And New York is great for that because you can just hit up like one block if you want to. Also, if they're terrible, you can just like ditch them after the second spot. But also, like if you're doing drinks, sit at the bar because you're sitting closer to one another, so it's much easier to do physical touch, right? So like if they say something funny, ha ha ha, versus if they're across the table and you're like, oh, that was good. Like, so then at the end when you go for the kiss, it's weird because you haven't touched all night because you've been so far from each other. So that's just the thought.
I love it. The physical touch is important. The knee is the things. Oh, I think you're funny.
Yeah.
You can see me naked later. Yeah. Is it normal for the spark to go away?
The spark and the way that you're used to it in the beginning, for that to fade, yes. So spark actually can be, sometimes they say it's your system's sort of fight or flight. It's actually you warning you, like, get the fuck out of here. And people don't realize that. And people think, so when people come to me and they're like, I want the spark, I'm like, do you? Spark set houses on fire. That's not always a good thing. But your brain chemistry does change when you're in a relationship for a longer term, and that's why, again, it's so important to not think about just how you're feeling right now, but the fun you can have together. Are you guys working towards that same thing? Because then it just looks a little different. Like, sure, my dates with Adam aren't the same as like date 1, 2, or 3, regardless of what either of us is wearing. But they're still fun because it really has become like my best friend. And think about life with your actual friends, like not your romantic partners. You guys go out, book tickets together, or go to an activity because you know it's gonna be fun. You know you're gonna enjoy it, you're gonna talk about it, you're gonna do, and you look forward to that. Like, you want that in a partnership. So that's the magic, but you do have to be intentional about the romance piece. But a sense of that spark you're feeling is typically a little bit of uncertainty, and a healthy relationship is one that you feel is certain and stable, not one where you feel like if you take one wrong step or sneeze, they may be gone.
Right. No, that's great advice. Okay, final one. This is an important one, I think.
Okay.
Is there a hard and fast rule about when to first have sex in a new relationship?
Okay. Now, technically, y'all grown, y'all can do what you want. Yes. But I'm just gonna tell you,
okay,
the shortcut to this. Okay, so
I know. Look at this too.
her name is Betty. Fun fact. So her name is Betty after Betty White. So love her. And then these are my wedding bands. I like them separate. This one is Whoopi Goldberg because Whoopi's just kind of chill and plain. And this one's Jane Fonda because Jane's a little high maintenance. But all three women that I respect and inspire me. Ooh, who should we name? Okay. By the end of this show, because I feel like you need to have named them. I love to name jewelry. I don't know, it's weird. So here's my thing. If you are just looking to play around, then have sex. Be safe, but like do whatever you want to do. If you are in a place where you're like, I wanted a committed relationship, and I want a relationship that's ultimately going to lead to like marriage, and that's not for everyone, and that's okay. This is specifically if that is a goal of yours, that you want that level of commitment. Like there was a couple in your video piece that had been dating for 4 years, and they were best friends. The best friend part is sweet. The dating for 4 years part is a little side-eye. So here's the thing. Once you get to a certain age, it's a little side-eye, only because people know. Like when you're in your 22 or something, yeah, date for a long time, fine. When you're a little older, if you both have that same goal, then there usually aren't a ton of things that are like pulling you back from that. So with the sex piece, I like to say, don't have sex until you're in a committed relationship. And this is how you do it. You can bring it up early on, first date or second. But okay, and here's the real controversial piece. So say you go on, first of all, you should have a roster. Don't put all eggs in one basket until you really like that basket. You should have a roster. And so when you're on a date with someone who, Adam, close your ears. When you're on a date with someone who you think has potential to be your long-term partner, it's okay if you still have a winter cuddle buddy on the side in the beginning, because you're not in a relationship. So like if you need to get some things out of your system, maybe you realized he or she or they were dumber than you'd like, but they're good in bed. Fine, keep that on the side for now. But when you're on a date with someone you think has potential for the long-term things and you're aligned, I wouldn't have sex with them because it allows you to just be a little bit clearer, honestly, in evaluating that person and how aligned you really are. Because once hormones and feelings get into it, your mind's telling you no, your mind's saying yeah, whatever, and then you make bad choices. The way you bring it up is on the first couple of dates, bring it up, and think of it the same way as if you were telling someone you were a vegan and you were at a restaurant. Yeah. A good vegan, the nice kind, not the like fishy kind. Where it's basically like, look, I only eat vegetables. You can eat whatever you want to eat. I'm not telling you you only have to eat them, but just so you know, I only eat them. And so when you're on that date, you can sort of say, I love sex in a relationship. It's one of my favorite parts, but for me, I enjoy it most when I'm in a relationship. So now you've set that expectation, right? So now it's out there, and you don't have to wait to the awkward moment where you're half naked in their apartment, and then you're like, oh, haha, fun fact. That's weird, don't do that. So you bring it up early on, but it'll keep you from situationships, honestly, and it sets kind of a clear boundary of like what the next steps are, and oftentimes within a month or two, if they want to be with you, you guys have like sealed that deal, and then you can progress forward. That's if a more traditional relationship is what you're going for. Otherwise, do you have fun?
Well, when I start dating again, I will hear your voice in my head, trying to keep me in my pants.
Giving you a side eye.
Give me a side eye. Round of applause for Devyn Simone. Thank you so much. This was such a treat. Really, thank you so much.